Hey, fellow historians, how are you? Welcome to Casa Nesossi, Biblioteca. Uh, gosh, I just want to begin by saying how much I've missed you. We thought we were only going to be out for spring break, but we were out for much longer, and it appears that we will be out for a significant amount of time, about 3 weeks right now. They are telling us April 13th, I think, is the report date back to class. And so, believe me, I am counting down the days until we can all be together back in our classroom studying U.S. history. But I just wanted to take this opportunity this evening not to kind of lay a whole bunch of stuff at you and tell you, this is what we're going to be doing, this is what we're going to be doing, this is what we're doing. And I just want to stop, and I just want to breathe for a second, and I just want to tell you, eye to eye, from me to you, everything is going to be okay. We're going to get through this together. We are stronger together. I have told you this from the very beginning of the school year, of how utterly impressed I am with you guys. Be glad you're not a senior and trying to get prepared for a graduation in the next few weeks. But you're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. It's all going to be okay. And I say that also well aware that your life at home has changed significantly. You're home quite a bit more. In fact, I've even seen a couple of TikToks of students say that they are now taking AP dishwashing and pre-AP backyard mowing and academic laundry and got quite a bit of a chuckle out of that. Actually, Miss Cherry was one of her students, apparently has a TikTok that, according to her, has about 1 million views on that, so pretty impressive. So for my students, you better get onto those TikToks and start putting the. I tell you, in fact, one of the things I'm looking at doing now that I've got an incredible amount of time on my hands is I'm going to be looking at doing some TikToks as well and trying to get cool and hip with you kids, no cap, and see if we can maybe do history through TikTok. It is the 21st century and the technology is out there. But I just wanted to take this opportunity. I'll go over some scheduling stuff here and grading and how we're going to maybe proceed forward here in just a few minutes. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to check in with you, tell you that it's going to be okay. Believe me, I am just as displaced as you are right now mentally. I mean, if I'm being brutally honest, I derive life from, this is where I get emotional. I derive life from the classroom. I love being in the classroom, and this is not a vacation for me. I'm not sitting at home right now just chillaxing and relaxing and thinking, this is great. I've got nothing to do. I am worried. I am concerned because I'm concerned about you, and I want to make sure that you are doing okay. But if we can rally together in the next few weeks, if we can come together as a class and we can unite and communicate frequently, I think that you and I will be able to forge ahead with much success. Will we be taking an AP exam? Yes, that's my ultimate goal, absolutely. Will the exam be delayed? I don't know. Will we be grading on a different scale moving forward? Yes, I don't know. It seems like there's more I don't knows than there are answers to many of your questions, and many of those questions I have as well. So let's just back up for just a second and find out where we're at with things. As far as the schedule goes, the district has not given us a definitive start date, so to speak. Now, as of recording this, they could have sent an email right now, and I just don't know about it. But they are sending email after email after email, and then I'm forwarding that information on to you. So as soon as I get it, I will, of course, give that to you and say, hey, it looks like our start date for classes is going to be next Tuesday or next Wednesday. Again, I simply do not know. But when we have a start date, then we will go ahead and kind of begin the course. Now, let's say we do have a start date. What does online learning look like? I don't know. Now, what I envision, this is what I'm thinking, is I'm going to probably use two very, very specific platforms. Number one, I'm thinking I'm going to use MrNesossi.com. for one, you're familiar with it. You've used it all throughout the year, so why reinvent the wheel? And one thing I did hear from administration is that teachers do have some flexibility to kind of work with existing tools that they've been using in the classroom. So not to say, all right, now you're going to log on to, cracklemackle.com and use that now as our communication tool. I promise you, there's not going to be like Cahoots or any of that crap. So we're going to be using some legitimate tools. And for one, I want to put this in just a simple two parts. How am I going to get information to you? It's going to be through mrnesossi.com. I've already set up the forum that's in there, and some of you have already logged into the forum, and that's great. And I've really appreciated hearing some of your questions on the forum. If you go on mrnesossi.com, at the very top, you'll see a button that says the forum. And you'll click on it, and then you'll be able to see an introduction to the forum, kind of what my vision is for the website. And then I've also added a frequently asked questions section. Whenever I update you guys with stuff on Remind, I'm getting 40 or 50 questions instantly. And that's great. I love it. Keep them coming. But a lot of the questions are repeated. There's basically like 4 main questions. Like, what are we doing? Where are we going? How are you grading? Right? And just different ways that it's going to be kind of spelled out. And so use that FAQ section to kind of air out your questions and let me answer those so you can benefit from that information as well. So number one, mrnesossi.com will be the platform to which I will get information to you. The form will also contain, and this is again, all up in the air, what I'm envisioning is that the website will have, for instance, maybe like a little video lecture, kind of like we did with the World War I thing, primary source document analysis, I know your favorite, and then we will have some additional, because really we don't have many worksheets, right, in APUSH. We haven't, you usually just, you've got your IG and your chapter reading and some supplemental readings in class. And that's not going to change. The chapter readings are still on the website. I can't physically give you a copy of the chapter readings because I can't, the paper might have Corona on it. I don't know. But all the chapters readings are still there. The IGs will be loaded up. I mean, we only have period 8 and period 9, so that's good. And then let me pause for just a second and talk about those IGs. A lot of you messaged, like, is the IG due on the 20th or whenever the original due date was? No. How am I going to correct the IG? Am I going to, set up a tent in front of the school and you drive through and I've got, the mask on with the hazmat suit and I'm collecting your IG with rubber gloves, and so no, the IG is not due. And no, you're not going to scan the IG through a computer and send me a whole bunch of PDFs to read through. So let's just push pause on the IGs. Again, I don't know how it's going to work out for extra credit. I don't know if we're going to take it for a grade or as a minor grade. So let's just take the IGs for just a second. Keep them as a tool that you're going to use, but let's just keep them off to the side. Keep using them, and we'll move through them, no doubt. In the days ahead and the weeks ahead, I'll say, hey, turn to page 36 in your IG, and then we'll be using that as a tool. But can you turn it into me? No. So that's kind of been thrown out the window. So there's the IGs. So once again, mrnesossi.com, that's how the information is going to come to you. Now, there's one other conduit to mrnesossi.com that I just want to talk about for just a second, and that is you're going to have to log in now. And I know that's kind of annoying because you've got 50 logins for 50 different things, but what I do need to kind of control right now is the amount of people that are accessing the website. As we've talked about in class, I've got students from all over the place that are logging in, and I can't respond to or answer 2,000 questions a week, right? If I'm being brutally honest. So when you begin to set it up, and I'm going to send paper instructions out for this, and you'll just go in, give me your first and last name and your email address, and then okay, you're on the roster, you're a legit OTHS student, and then you're in, and that's it. That's all I need. But and also use your first and last name. Don't put Epic Gamer 77494. I don't know who Epic Gamer is, and you're going to get deleted because I don't know if you're an Epic Gamer in Katy at OTHS or if you're an Epic Gamer in Seattle or wherever. So again, I'll send out paper instructions for how you'll get logged in. You can view anything you want to on the website all day long, but to communicate with me on the website through the forum, you'll need to kind of set up a little profile. And some of you have already done that, and it's fairly straightforward and easy. So MrNesossi.com, I'm thinking, is going to be the platform that's going to get you the information. Primary source documents, chapter readings, future IGs, Quizlets, those kinds of things. Information going to you from MrNesossi.com. How you're going to get stuff to me to grade, and again, this is the big kind of question mark, or I should do it this way for you. This is the big question mark. We're probably going to go with Canvas. And you probably saw that I set up an AP US History Nesossi Canvas page. It's going to be super, super, super simple. And again, if this changes, I'll let you know. But kind of early discussions I've had with the APUSH team is that we're going to be using Canvas for you to submit your writing to. And you should be familiar with Canvas. I actually am not. Full disclosure, I haven't used Canvas, and so I had to kind of go through and literally Google this morning, like, how to use Canvas, and watched little, 5-minute YouTube videos. And I'm going to keep Canvas super simple. Literally, it's going to have one tab. I'm not going to have all of these other, I saw there's like 50 tabs, like Adobe Chrome and Google and Roller Coaster and SimCity and all that crap. I'm going to keep it very, very, very simple. We're going to have one tab, and it's going to say Assignments. And then when you click on it, it's going to open up to 4 additional tabs. Micro-writes, SAQs, and I bet you can guess the other 2. DBQs and LEQs. And it is through that platform, through turnitin.com, so you're not, simply texting each other your DBQs, that we will be able to perhaps grade those. Now, grading, what we're taking for a major grade, what we're taking for a minor grade, how we're going to quiz, how we're going to test, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. That's, for me, setting up the infrastructure for this course is pretty easy. Hey, use the existing website that I've put life and blood into, MrNesossi.com, to get you the information. And we've been doing that all year. That hasn't changed. What are you going to do? And then the way you're going to get information to me, way you're going to submit stuff is just directly through Canvas, click on assignments, and away you go. And that seems pretty straightforward. Now that those 2 platforms are in place, great. What are we going to do with those 2 platforms? How are we going to set this up? Am I going to create a class where I'm like, all right, at 10 o'clock, first period, log in, and we have like first period all talking, or do I just simply record stuff and say, hey, this is due by, next Thursday? To be determined. So this is where I need you to breathe in and breathe out and just relax and know that I'll get those answers to you as soon as I get them. The other thing you had a lot of questions on was the existing 5th 6 weeks. Some of y'all took this past DBQ. You already handwrote the DBQ. Remember, I think it was like Thursday before spring break. Remember, I was at state for God. Doesn't that seem like, that seems like months ago, really. So some of you have already written that DBQ. Now, how do I get others to write their DBQ and make that DBQ up? I don't know. Do I have you drive up to the tent, the hazmat tent with the suit, and deliver your plastic sealed DBQ that you wrote at home? And then how fair is that you got to write a DBQ at home when other students wrote a timed DBQ in class? So I don't know what we're doing with that DBQ. I'm going to get with Miss Ferrari, Mr. Gelati, and Mr. Williams, the APUSH team, so we have an equal footing for the way that we're going to be grading. Because one thing for certain is, all 4 of the APUSH teachers have different ways of kind of delivering information and are going to have different kind of platforms. So you might see something, one of your friends might be in another class and this teacher might do this or this teacher. But one thing that's going to be exactly the same across the board with everybody is how we're going to grade and what we're going to grade. So you won't see any variation in that whatsoever. And so that's going to require us to get together and say, all right, we're going to take this for a grade, we're going to take this for a grade, we're going to have this due on this date and have this due on this date. And if that's through tests, multiple choice tests, again, I don't know how we're going to do that without, hey, I got the screen print of the answers. Right. I'm thinking, if I'm looking internally, like the best way to assess you at this point is going to be probably writing. That's what we're going to be focusing on to really get you prepared for the APUSH exam. After all, the exam is 60% writing, so we're going to be really focusing on that writing component. And I think a great way to do that, like I said, type up your DBQ or your SAQ or your micro write, send it through Canvas, I grade it, and the best part about that is I don't have to look at your handwriting. And so that's going to be really exciting for me to be able to read typed work. And the other component about that is you're kind of mirroring what a lot of colleges are doing. Remember, I've done grad work online. A lot of my former students that are now in college are like, I can't believe how much we're doing online. Like we submit all our papers online and everything else. So I'm envisioning formal writing being done online as well. Will we implement AP Classroom and get some multiple choice practice questions in there? Sure. But I think your procurement of the information, because we really have period 7, part 4, and then we just have period 8 and period 9. And what frustrates me so much, what frustrates me so much is I love period 8. So I just want to be able to kind of exude that same passion from period 8 through this media that we would be doing in the classroom. So with that being said, the form is set up. Go get logged in on the form. I'm going to send out instructions for that. Once I send out the instructions for getting kind of signed up for that, I'll send that out after this video. Make sure you can see AP US History Nesossi on Canvas. If you go in there and click on it, you're not going to see anything because there's no assignments. And once we do get assignments, then you'll only see that tab listed. As far as grading goes, I don't know. Stay tuned. I'm hoping to have answers for you next week for the 5th 6 weeks and for the 6th 6 weeks. And that also includes the document, The Beast, remember the review. I'm going to be talking with the APUSH team on if we're going to be getting that to you electronically. I'm envisioning that we more than likely would. And then regarding the schedule, I'm going to kind of also solicit your input. I want you to be as much a part of this process. I don't want to just edict to you what's going to be done. I want you to tell me what works for you. I have to realize, number one, you have 6 other classes that you're dealing with. You're probably a caretaker at home while your parents are working. So there's a whole lot of other responsibilities that you've had now put before you, and I understand that completely. So I want to hear from you and find out what works best for you. I mean, if I sat in front of a computer and talked about, John F. Kennedy's New Frontier, or LBJ's Great Society for 30 minutes, would you listen to it and enjoy it? Or would I do it through a slideshow and pull that up? I mean, I don't have a smartboard back here, even though I have a lovely biblioteca. This is my home library. There's the podcast studio. This is the rest of the home library. I do not have a smartboard from which to lecture. But I would maybe put slides up there at any rate. With that being said, I just wanted to touch base with you this evening. I wanted you to physically see that I am doing well. I do not have corona. I've been to HEB a few times and have not stocked up on toilet paper. I don't know what the deal is with the toilet paper. I'm confused about that. If you're buying that much toilet paper, you've got other problems other than corona. Just saying. And then the water. Everyone's freaking out over the water. But one thing that did hit me that was kind of completely unrelated to our discussion was driving back from HEB. I drove by Legacy Stadium and I saw the tent set up with the quarantine area and the vans are all set up. And it was just like a movie. It's just crazy. So as a human being, independent of just being a teacher, just watching all this unfold is crazy. I mean, I'm just baffled by this. And the only other thing I want to say to you as like a young person, I'm watching some of the footage of these college kids like on beaches in Florida and at Padre Island and, oh, I'm not going to get corona because I'm not a boomer and I'm just going to party it up. And they're violating all of these protocols that the CDC has put into place. I hope you're smarter than that. Don't get out there and get into large groups and have big house parties and just, help older societies out, help especially the real boomer generation who is most susceptible to this disease, this virus, and just observe those protocols. I mean, get back on FaceTime, text, do all the things that you normally do where you stay socially isolated anyways, but try to observe those protocols. And I would be not doing my due diligence if I say wash your hands and cover your mouth when you cough and blah, 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 you know, all that stuff. But so I just want to make sure that you are, in essence, being healthy and that, oh, my MacBook froze. There it is. Okay. It actually popped up and froze for just a second. That you're doing your part to be healthy as well. And take care of your family. They're probably in a very stressful situation as well. We live in an oil and gas economy here in Houston, and oil's taking a hit right now. Oil prices have dropped, and so I'm just concerned that there might be some issues with, you know, your parents and their work. So try to go easy on them and help out around the house and do what you can to help to eliminate, mitigate, alleviate some of that stress. All right, so at the 20-minute mark, wow, I've talked way too long, and you've probably tuned me out by now. But I just wanted to pop in for just a second, say I'm here. I'm glad you're there. Keep your questions coming through the forum. Hang in there. Give me a few more days. I'm still getting some information, and we'll get back into history and start picking up where we left off. I think we're going to get back into Pearl Harbor, start World War II. Here pretty soon. But keep watching that continuity and change over time. Keep watching the presidential briefs. Keep watching how the private sector is interacting with the federal government, how the federal government's interacting with the states. What does the state have control over? What does the federal government have control over? How are state agencies coordinating with the private sector? I mean, this is, I'm telling you right now, this is history. You're going to see the COVID-19 pandemic as a future DBQ or a full lecture in class. How is the country handling this? And, you know, thinking about the folks in Italy, which are getting hit and ravaged hard by it, and of course, all around the world. All right, so I'm going to hop off. I miss you guys immensely. I miss you more than you know. Teaching, as I said, is not something I do. It is who I am. You probably miss school, but again, you are, and I just mean this wholeheartedly, you're going to school so you can chase your dream. You're going to school right now so you can get an education and go out there into the world and live your dream. I'm living my dream. Teaching is everything I've wanted to do and everything of who I am. And sitting here in this room right now talking to a computer screen is not living the dream. Standing in front of that classroom every day, between every single period, and seeing you guys come down that hallway with a handshake, which I, you know, very much so miss, is what it's all about. And I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well, and I look forward to meeting right back here in the near future. All right, kiddos, hang in there, stay strong, stay well, be wise, and I'll see you soon.